Assembling your uprights is the first step in building your shelving. In this video, we show you how to build uprights on top of a mobile carriage, which allows shelves to move back and forth to maximize your storage capacity. To install the non-mobile shelving, you will follow the same steps, but obviously it will not be attached to the carriage. Let's start by positioning the uprights for assembly. Got a flange down here at the bottom. That's the bottom of it. The top of the upright does not have that L shape to it. So that means it's the top. Now we're going to start attaching the shelving to the carriages. There are two types of uprights. This is an L, closed L upright, and that's usually what we put on the end and on the front. Anything in between that is going to have a T-post. Usually we keep those are open uprights with a T. To start with, we have just a regular SS support. It's got two rivets, and usually we put them up on top to start with because we know that's where that one's going to go. Just place that there, and we'll grab our T upright, place this on the carriage, bring this over, get it lined up with the slots, tap it in, and then it will stay there. Get it lined up where it goes. To do it, doesn't take two. We'll just get that shelf support in there. And then put it upright on. Okay. That's kind of the first step, is to get the uprights, basic framework on the upright up. Next step, we've got a bottom shelf support. It has only one rivet. That's designed just to go on the bottom. It sits down flush with the carriage. We got the bottom shelf supports in. On the box, it's labeled BS for bottom shelf support. So on the hardware box, you'll see a BS designation and whatever length it is, whether it's a 30, 36, 42, 48. The next step is we add the shelf reinforcement, and the bottom shelf gets a special one, and it's an HR, and it depends on the depth of the shelf. So this happens to be a 24-inch deep shelf, so this is a 24 HR. And we set those in the center, okay? And the framework is up. After we get the framework up on the shelving, we're going to attach the shelving to the carriage. And the first thing we need to do is make sure that the shelving is properly lined with the carriage. The uprights, we want to have them flush with the front of the carriage. So we just bring them out flush, and then the carriage is a little bit wider than the shelving. So what we do is we just kind of center it, and there's just a little bit of an overhang. We just center it on that carriage. Just kind of get it centered on there. But the key is to make sure that we start the front of the carriage and that it's flush. Everything else should line up just right. We use tech screws, 4 of them, 2 in the front and 2 in here, and then 4 per section. So another 2 and another 2. And I'll just demonstrate how we do that. Inside this bottom shelf support, there's pre-drilled holes. If we can just pick out one of those holes and run your tech screw into the carriage, and that will hold, that secures the shelving to the carriage. Pre-drilled holes in that bottom shelf support, and the tech screw just goes right into the carriage then. Okay, and that's all there is to attaching the shelving to the carriage, and we've got our basic framework. Our next video will be actually installing the shelves, and we'll show you that in the next step.